A little birdie told us that Robert Downey Jr. actually used a body double for the simple scenes in Iron Man 3. And if you want to find out why he did it, then keep watching, because here are the 10 CGI scenes you thought were real. Let's dive right into it, shall we? Number 10. RDJ broke his ankle, and he was replaced with a body double. We promised we'd find you a reason, and here it is. Robert Downey Jr. broke his ankle while shooting Iron Man 3. This postponed the release date because RDJ needed to recover from the injury. But the tight schedule made the directors kick into creative mode. Since they were actually still filming, they figured it would be cheaper to hire a body double that would do Robert's scenes. And they would later shoot his facial expressions in the studio and layer them on with CGI. They actually did it. And near the end of the movie, when Tony Stark's house gets blown to bits by the chopper, the actor's body you see on screen is not actually Robert's. It's a body double with the face of RDJ layered on top. Now, that's what we call resourceful. Number 9. The unwanted chopper that was accidentally featured in SHAZAM. This is where you get to see the genius of the editing crew into play. SHAZAM was a comedic superhero movie that gave the whole concept of heroism a whole new definition. But there was one scene that caught our eye. Once we looked into it, there were a few minor details that you missed when SHAZAM flew away while the scared people were running for their lives. But if you look close to the stairs, you will see that there is this group of people that's calmly standing in the middle of the chaos with shopping bags in their hands. Turns out, they weren't supposed to be in that scene at all. They were a part of the crew that forgot to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. But no, they were the crew that forgot to move out of the shot. So instead of removing them from the shot completely, which would be costly, they decided to add CGI shopping bags in their hands and make them look like they bought something.
Gentlemen, why use guns when we can handle this like real men?
Number 8. Here, you'll see the most expensive dog poo in the world. We all know how good John Wick was. Maybe that's due to the fact that the director pays close attention to detail. Or maybe it's because of the good writing. Or maybe even because of how good Keanu Reeves is. But no, it's actually because of the dog poo that none of the fans even remember seeing. Let us explain. You see, John Wick receives a gift from his dead wife, a dog. This dog is very important to him. And because he has never gotten used to the process of handling them, he didn't know that the pooch would go into the yard and do his business. But there was a problem. The dog actor didn't want to go in the morning hours, and they had no way of making him go. So, what did the director do? He ordered the CGI editors to add a fake poo on the grass. And guess how much it cost them? $5,000. The poop that's visible for 3 seconds cost the movie a jaw-dropping $5,000. Fake poop on Amazon goes for $5. We checked. Number 7. All the sheep in Brokeback Mountain. Brokeback Mountain made headlines for the amazing storyline, as well as the amazing scenery. All of those gorgeous forest shots where the actors were exposed to the elements were actually shot outside. They weren't filmed in the studio. So what's the big idea in mentioning the movie here? Well, the scenery was real, but there was a little CGI sprinkled here and there to make those panoramic shots look that much cooler. This means that there were practically no sheep on the set of Brokeback Mountain, as those big herds were all created on a computer screen. Even some of the scenery was enhanced with VFX to make the mountains pop and add a little more sparkle to the whole movie.
Because of you, Jack, that I'm like this.
Number 6. The Quantum Suit Conundrum. When the Avengers decided to go back in time and defeat Thanos before he could wipe the whole universe out of existence, here's something that you didn't know. Those cool white Ant-Man suits and helmets were all just CGI. The actors were actually wearing their usual costume while shooting this scene. Then, the visual effects guys added another layer of protection, as well as make the superheroes look better. Their actual superhero suits were much more comfortable to wear, and if they created the white suits in real life, they would have to be built from plastic. And we all know that RDJ uses nanotechnology in his latest suit. Coupling nanotech with plastic will just make the suits look cheap, and they had to create a CGI suit for the Hulk either way, so they went with CGI quantum suits for all. Number 5. No reflection and no blinking for Johnny Depp.
Ah, yes. Uncanny, is it not? Worth every hour.
We all knew that Dark Shadows used a lot of CGI in the making, but what we didn't know is how much attention to detail the director actually paid to the movie. For example, we all know they had to remove Barnabas Collins' reflection from each mirror and the glass wall he brushed up against, because, surprise, he's a vampire. But vampires don't blink either. And since they couldn't stop Johnny Depp from blinking, they decided they would have to take the harder route. Every single time Johnny Depp blinked in the movie, the CGI team made sure to remove all of them. This means that you cannot find a single shot of Barnabas blinking in the entire movie. Now, there's an interesting challenge. Number 4. The fake tear in Blood Diamond. Leonardo DiCaprio's acting skills are nothing that we would question. He knocked Blood Diamond out of the park. But there was a little CGI that you missed in the last scene where Danny Archer picks up the phone to call his wife, played by Jennifer Connelly, for one last time. You can see just how emotional that whole situation was, but the director wasn't satisfied. And that single tear you see rolling down Jennifer Connelly's face is nothing but a VFX. They felt like the actress didn't show enough emotion in the movie, so they decided to do something about it. Did that single tear make or break the movie? I guess we'll never know.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Number 3. Zodiac faked almost the entire city. When David Fincher was directing the 2007 Zodiac, he wanted everything to look perfect for the movie. It was based on the Zodiac killer that operated in the San Francisco area between the 1960s and the 1970s. But, as you all might already guess, San Francisco is not the same city it was 50 years ago. And this meant that the visual effects crew would be doing some crazy editing. From the panoramic shot of San Fran, where they removed all of the tall buildings that were built recently, to downtown San Francisco, and even the murder scenes. It was all edited to fit the era and the time when the Zodiac killer was active. Another fun fact about the movie is that the director wanted every single death in the movie to take place on the exact location that the real-life murder took place, back in the 70s. Guess who was tasked with recreating the surroundings here too?
Predator. This is the murderer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman and the girl on the 4th of July near the...
Number 2. That wasn't Lex in Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park has went down in history as one of the best movies that used CGI a la extreme. But when Steven Spielberg is the one directing the movie, you can barely notice them. And that's actually the case when Alex fell through that air vent and almost got eaten by the velociraptors. The director didn't want to risk the life of actress Ariana Richards, so they actually got a body double to hang from the broken air vent. But wait a second, didn't you say that the dinosaurs were fake? Hey, we don't mean that type of life-threatening. We mean the actress could have fallen down and injured herself. So, Spielberg decided to use a body double and then trace the face of Alex on top of hers. Number 1. How Joker survived the truck flip. The reason we included this scene as our final pick is because it's one of the best in the entire movie industry. And it's mostly real. We're serious. Christopher Nolan wanted to actually flip an entire truck for the movie. So, he ordered a construction company to build a giant piston that would launch the truck in the air. And it was all shot in the downtown Chicago. Talk about gut-wrenching. On one hand, they were worried that they would hit some of the buildings. On the other, they had to hurry up because they closed down one of the busiest streets in Chicago. And there was some CGI in that scene. That's right. The VFX crew had to remove the piston that launched the truck in the air and crushed it. On a related note, we wanted to know if any of these scenes fooled you into believing they were real. You can tell us in the comments section below. If you'd like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.